Hey, what's going on? This is Marcos. Today I want to show you the parts I use to build up my red Komodo. This is my cinema rig. It took me a while to build it up, and I'm going to walk you through all the parts I used and why I made certain decisions. So if you're looking to build your own cinema rig, hopefully this gives you some ideas. All right, so I think we should start with the parts as I bought them. First of all, the first thing I always get is the cage for my cameras. I want to make sure I protect them, that they don't get scuffed or damaged, because when you're doing run and gun shoots, sometimes you're just going for it, right? You're moving fast and it might get banged up against the wall or a tripod or your easy rig or whatever you're using. So it's always good to get a cage. This one is from 8sin, and I just got the cage for it, and I love how it was minimal. It wasn't too much going around. When I first bought the Komodo, there was very little available. A lot of parts were on back order, or they hadn't been built yet or shipping out. So this is the first one that I was able to get my hands on, okay? I did not get the base plate. I got the base plate from Small Rig. By the way, everything you see here I purchased and with my own money, and there'll be links in the description. So the base plate is by Small Rig. Also the rails and the lens support that you see down here. Now moving up, when I bought the Komodo, I also bought the Outrigger handle. I think this is very important for me because often I'm on an easy rig or I'm just going handheld, and it's easier to hit record on the button here with the Outrigger than it is to like having to reach over and hit record. Sometimes you might miss a moment because you did not hit record fast enough on the camera. I have other cameras where I don't have the record button here, and it's just a bigger pain in the butt. And then the next thing is this Nato Rail. This is a longer version. I have other small ones, but this allows me to connect more things to the top of the camera. For example, this Nitsy handle, I might have one here, and then another side handle, which you don't see here. Usually I put another handle that extends this way, but I have the mobile follow focus. That's why I didn't put another handle here, but that's another option. If you don't have a follow focus, you can put another handle on this side using this Nato Rail, which I often do. Okay, and then the Nitsy Top Handle, I love this one. You can mount 3/8 and 1/4 inch in just different directions. It has a Nato Rail, so you can quickly take it off. You just loosen it and the whole thing comes off. And you can slide it back and forth. Then up top, I have the Ninja 5 connected via this, it's like a 3/8 connector, and it has 2 pins to connect to the Nitsy. And then on the Ninja 5, I also have the Nitsy cage. Again, you want to protect your gear in case you ever want to sell it. Also, you can get better money for it if it's not as banged up. And also, you just want to protect it. Make sure you don't damage it and have to buy a new one. So it saves you money to get a good cage. The red Komodo uses, as you can see here, SDI. And this is a balanced, or whatever it is, a 12G SDI cable. It doesn't use HDMI. So what's nice about this Ninja 5 is that you can get SDI. And then I'm powering both the monitor and the camera via the V-mounts, which is probably where I want to move next. Powering this camera, I bought this from Tilta, connects to the back of the camera, and now you can power it V-mount, and you also get D-tap and these other 14.8 volt things that I haven't actually used. And you can also get USB and other ports. Oh, 2 D-taps, which is great for, let's say I wanted to power the camera and the monitor or other accessories. I can use the 2 D-taps that are built into the Tilta. I also have this V-mount adapter from DF Digital Photo. I've used this on other of my cinema rigs. This one just gives me more D-taps, but also the ability to hot swap. Once you have something like this, I can put another V-mount, and I bought this cable from, I think it was Alvin's Cables, made for the red Komodo, and it goes from the red power source to D-tap. That way, let's say I'm doing a long shoot and I don't want to power off the camera, I can hot swap. I can take this V-mount off and put a new one, and vice versa. I can also take this V-mount off and leave this one on and hot swap the camera without having to turn it off. And that's happened to me, and yeah, it's pretty useful to have this ability to hot swap. Otherwise you don't if you only have this. Okay, where do I go next? Let's go to the front of the camera. Here you see the wooden camera mat box. It connects to the rails. I think in the future I'll probably get the one where I don't have to connect to the rails. I think there's an adapter you can change here in the back for wooden camera so it connects straight to the lens. That might be useful for when I don't want to have the rails. So with the wooden camera, I'm able to stack up 3 filters, these ND filters, which is pretty neat in case I need to double down on ND filters. The lens, this is the Zeiss Otis 55 millimeter. I also have the 85 millimeter. A friend of mine, a DP friend, Keston, turned me on to these lenses. They're really sharp. The build quality is nice. They're beautiful lenses. And I just love how they looked on different footage that I've seen. And also from his footage, he showed me the stuff and it's just like tack sharp. I love that. And then I put these follow focus gears, this ring, that way it could work with the mobile follow focus. So this is specifically for this lens. I also bought it for the 85 millimeter. And then the adapter here, this is the Canon RF to EF mount, but also has variable ND built in. Even though I'm using ND on the matte box, sometimes if I'm doing run and gun situations, I might take off the matte box and just run with the variable ND. I just don't like screwing on different variable NDs. It's just a time waster, and sometimes I put those in my pocket or they drop for whatever reason, so I'd rather have it built in here into the camera. Or let's say I am running ND here in front of the matte box, I can always add a little bit more if I need to. So I think this was another thing I got with the Red Komodo package, this RF adapter with variable ND. All right, I think I've talked mostly about everything. Other things is things like these cable management. You can see here it's nice and tidy. This is by Andy Zini. Just a cable tie that connects to the 1/4 inch. And also I have one here in front. This is made by Sprig. And it's like just rubber, and these are actually better price. You get like 5 for, I forget, 20 bucks, and you just screw them onto the 1/4 inch. And now the cables are not running all over the place. Because if I didn't have this, like these cables would be all over the place. It would be a mess, and it might get in my way of the follow focus. So definitely some cable management is great to have on your camera, especially when you're running this much wires or connections. Yeah, and then down here to support the lens, this is the small rig. It's just a lens holder support. You don't want your connections or your lens moving around. So, and that's pretty much it. This is pretty much the Cinema Rig built. Other things I might put on it are like, maybe the other thing I use is like if I needed to, I can put this Mars 400S, which also supports SDI. I can do an out and give a director's monitor to the director. So that's something I might throw on with this clamp, and I can mount it anywhere that has a 1/4 inch, so it's out of the way. Okay. Now, the great thing about this is that I can also break it apart, and I'll show you. First of all, maybe I can start with taking off this other V-mount. I can take off the follow focus as well. And there, you know, now if you're running gunning, you can definitely run with this. And if you need to go lighter, if I need to go lighter, probably take off the matte box next. Took off the matte box. Now I don't really need the rails, but I'll leave them on because it's providing some rail support. Yeah, so this is how now you can do more run and gun type of shooting. And yeah, you can make it lighter. If you say you have like the Easy Rig, the Mini Max doesn't take as much weight. So I might end up doing that if I need to really like lighten the load on the camera. So if you have any questions about this rig, or there's something else or any ideas you might want to, you know, shoot my way, please let me know down below, down in the comment section. Links in the description. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.